What's up, everyone? Welcome to your weekly tech update, the show that explores the newest, coolest, and sometimes mind-boggling side of tech available on the interwebs. I am your tech advocate, Ray McNeil. Coming up on the program today, both Portal games will arrive on the Nintendo Switch sometime later this year. This SpaceX video of a Falcon 9 rocket stage separation during launch is just amazing. Happening in this week's What The, Futurama somehow scores a fresh reboot with the original voice cast, well, except for one of them, and it's going to happen on Hulu. And of course, we'll wrap up the program with this week's Moment of Joy. All that and a whole lot more coming up on today's edition of your weekly tech update next. This first one is a little unexpected considering the piece of hardware that Steam is putting out, but unlike the cake, this is not a lie. Folks who have ordered a Steam Deck but won't get it until the end of the year might actually be able to play a pair of bona fide Valve classics on the Nintendo Switch first. Portal and Portal 2 are both coming to Nintendo later this year as part of the $20 Portal Companion Collection. You'll get access to the single-player modes of both the first-person puzzle games as well as Portal 2's co-op mode. There's support for split-screen, local, and online multiplayer, and a whole lot more. That's great and all, but when are you gonna put out Half-Life on the Switch? Valve? You gonna get to that one? Until then, well, at least we're gonna be able to play both Portal games and for a very reasonable price on one of Nintendo's most popular handhelds. Android tablets might be showing new signs of life thanks to Google's push with Android 12L. But Samsung never left the Android tablet market. Alongside Samsung's announcement of the Galaxy S22, the company is also reviving its tablet line and is supersizing the Galaxy Tabs with the Galaxy S8 Tab Ultra. The Galaxy S8 Tab Ultra is a monster. It's 14.6 inches. It has 120 hertz, 2960 by 1848 OLED display, and it's incredibly bright. It has a battery of about 1100 milliamp hours and weighs about 1.6 pounds. It's bigger than the top half of many, many laptops. Samsung's choice to build an ultra-big tablet came with the decision to slim down the bezels, which I don't think anyone has ever asked for on a tablet. You can grip a smartphone around the side of it, so the bezel doesn't contribute much, but you need something to hold on to with a tablet. Samsung went all out on the bezel war and added a MacBook Pro-like notch to the S8 Tab Ultra's front display, which houses two 12-megapixel front-facing cameras. One is a wide-angled lens. The Ultra model is $1,099, the same price as a 12.9-inch iPad Pro. For the specs, you get a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and of course, unlike the Apple products, a micro SD card slot for some, expandability. 2 additional configs are available. The 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gig storage option is going to be about $1,200. Then you've got one with 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. That's going to get you at about $1,400. They do say that they have a 5G model coming out later in the year as well. There's an in-screen fingerprint reader, USB-C port, Wi-Fi 6E, and there's 2 rear cameras too, a 13-megapixel main camera and then a 6-megapixel wide-angle one. Samsung could not find room, however, for a headphone jack on the 14.6-inch behemoth. The device comes with a stylus that Samsung just calls an S Pen. However, it's nothing like the small plastic S Pen that lives in the Galaxy S22 Ultra. This is Apple Pencil-sized and presumably takes a battery. The stylus magnetically attaches to the back of the tablet tablet in line with the camera bump. The big S Pen also works on the S22 Ultra if you happen to buy both devices and don't want to undock your S22 pen. Samsung also has a keyboard case, turning your massive tablet into a medium-sized laptop. The keyboard connects to the tablet via a set of pogo pins and includes a trackpad and backlit keys. The keyboard is normally $349, but you can get one free with a pre-order. The Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra is up for pre-order right now on Samsung.com. This next one fascinated me because I'm a former radio engineer, and I didn't know that we had this much power. Some Mazda drivers in and around Seattle this week discovered that they could no longer change the radio station or play anything in their cars after listening to the local NPR station. The issue affected owners of various Mazda vehicles with model years ranging from 2014 to 2017 that were tuned into the station. According to KUOW, it's been happening for a few weeks now. What the unsuspecting commuters tuning in discovered was a bug in the car's infotainment software that basically crashed after trying to load the HD radio broadcast image that KUOW submitted. The image file was missing an extension, and the infotainment system could not decode it and had no process for handling it. So it just locked up the radio. The extension is whether or not it was a JPEG or a bitmap or whatever the case may be. According to some Reddit users, the issue sounds even worse. Some owners reported losing Bluetooth connectivity and the ability to play CDs, as well as a disabled backup camera and powerless USB ports for charging phones. One user warns against connecting the car's 12-volt battery when troubleshooting, as you can lose the ability to even listen to KUOW. This all sounds like something that could have been fixed with a software update, but it turns out the solution is to replace the CMU, which is the $1,500 hardware computer component of the infotainment system. The good news is that Mazda is telling dealerships this repair should be submitted as a goodwill repair, which means it should not cost anything for customers affected by it. The bad news is the part is not necessarily available right now due to the chip shortage, so it could take weeks or possibly months to get in. In the end, the issue is a software bug that could have been fixed through an update, although some of the Mazdas are too old to have over-the-air updates. It should at least have a way for dealerships to install updates for customers, though. This should serve as a warning to all manufacturers to start implementing a software update system and save a few headaches for dealerships and customers. Companies like Tesla have pioneered the ability to add new features and fix bugs, and most recently, Jaguar Land Rover added Amazon Alexa through an over-the-air update alone.